Hey everyone, Rathos here. Today we're going to be doing my third deck profile. This is probably one of my favorite decks out of every deck, basically. It's the Madolche deck. I love this deck. It through every format, it's always been good. It's a deck that really will take people off. To tell you the truth, they'll be demolished. This deck can run against any deck and demolish anything. So yeah. But yeah, it's like I said, it's the Madolche deck. It's a 40 card deck, 20 monsters, 8 spells, and 12 traps. This deck is kind of back row heavy, but the deck has so much speed, it's just ridiculous. And in the next set, it will actually get more cards, so the deck will be even better. But this is my build at the moment. It is usable, obviously, during the new one. I played it this morning, or not this morning, the other day, 2 days ago. The Thursday, I played it. I went undefeated. I didn't win every single round. I won every round, but I lost, or match, but I lost once. And only once the match went to the third game. So the deck is really quick. It's really good. I have some changes I will make to it though. So this is version 1. But once the new packs come out and give it that more support, I will be editing it. So yeah. I guess that's enough of me rambling. Let's get to the actual deck. But yeah. I run 2 Madolches. And one other thing, the deck is kind of cheap, so it ain't too hard to get. But yeah, 2 Madolches. She's like the most expensive one of the cards, and she's like $8 or $12, I think. But I only run 2 of them. Almost everyone runs 3 of them, but I don't. 2 runs good. You don't want 3. To tell you the truth, 3 isn't really needed, especially since you recycle. You could recycle her pretty easily, so 3's not needed. I run sorry. I had a sneeze, but it just wouldn't come. But anyway, I run 3 Messalagos. Messalago is the searcher is the second searcher of the deck. He searches out spells and traps. He searches out the chateau, ticket, and if you run any of the trap cards. I do not run any of the Madolche trap cards. But yeah, I run 3 of them. It's really good. He's the main reason he's the main way you'll go into a queen. But this deck has so many ways to go into queen, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I run 2 Who Cakes. I used to run it at 3. I didn't like it at 3. It ran good, it's just there were too many times I drew it my first turn. You do not want to draw into him. And especially since I actually started remodeling it. I'm actually in the middle of remodeling it now. This is actually still in the modeling process, but so far the deck runs really great like this, and there's only like 3 cards I'm going to be adding into the deck later on, so maybe I'll change a little bit more of it, but yeah, that's basically he's your special summoner. You could bring out Messalago with him, or another level 3 or whatever you're going to do. Mew, as most people call him, because he starts with Mew. His name is Mew Felegli or something like that. I can't pronounce that. When he's normal summon, he special summons a monster from the deck, or from the hand, I mean. So yeah, he's really good. Finally. Well, anyway, usually you'll normal summon him, get out Who Cake, use Who Cake's effect, get out like Messalago or something, and then go into shenanigans. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's an amazing combo. And then this card most people don't run. It's Bapple. In the last set, he was reprinted as a super, which is pretty cool. So I need to get another super to make it both supers. But yeah, that bull is actually really underrated. You target you target another monster that you target a monster your opponent controls, and switch him and that monster into defense. And this guy has 0 attack, but he has 18 defense, so he's a pretty good beater, especially if you have the field on the field. So yeah, most times you do that, and that's all the thing. Most of the times when they have like a boss monster out, they don't have that great a defense, so it's always a good way to over. It's basically a Book of Moon in a way. And then around the last Madolche is the Crufescent. I think that's pronounced it. I run one of them. Crufescent is actually a really good card. Most people don't use him. I ran him at 1. He's great at 1. You could search for him with ease, get him out in the field with ease. So, but yeah, once per turn you can send back 1 Madolche card. He gains a level and 300 extra attack points. So I've actually used him a couple times to go into Queen. I've actually used him a couple times to overpower something. So yeah, he's a great card. That's all the Madolches. The rest are the non-Madolches. I run 2 Spell Strikers because it's another level 3, and it's a special summon, so you can get him out with ease. As you can tell, the deck does special summon a lot. 2 TG Strikers. This tuner of the deck the tuner of this deck anyway. So yeah, if your opponent has a monster you don't, special summon, and then you could normal summon like 2 cake or something, or synchro up for a 5 or even a 6 with these. And then 2 Veilers, just because you need that stall. So the deck does start really good, but there are a few times that it like starts slow. So you can just Veiler their monster and slow them down. Plus, it's in the graveyard. It's then makes Suitcake alive, so it's always good to do that. And then 1 Redox. Redox is basically your monster reborn. So yeah, Redox is an amazing card. Usually you'll never special summon. You usually don't special summon it in the deck. You can if you want to. There are times I got him and a few other Leviar and stuff off with him, and then 1 Giant Rat. Giant Rat's just basically just get out Who Cake, really. Yeah. He's basically the only monster you're going to really ever special summon in with him. But, I mean, he gets destroyed, special summon Who Cake. Your next turn, if you have the field on the field, that's a 2000 beater. And then you also have bait for his effect, so yeah, that's the monsters. Now the spells. The spells are kind of basic, really. I run 2 Chateaus. You don't need to run 3. Most people run 3 of Chateau and Ticket. I actually run 2. I actually run 2 of both Chateau and Ticket. You do not need 3. You could recycle it easily. You can search for it easily. So you do not need 3. 2 dualities just for those dead hands, because there are sometimes you get dead hands. It's a good combo with can't remember her name all of a sudden. Mangeline. You could activate. A lot of times I've activated this. There's actually a Mangeline in the search. Search out Mangeline. Normal summon. Search out. I don't know. Search out anyone depending on your hand. Search out Mew or Who Cake or whatever. So yeah. That's basically just to give it more draw power. And then 2 MSDs. MSD, because this deck has a lot of combos, you want to get rid of that back row to make sure they're not stopping you, I guess you'd say. So yeah, that's the 8 spells. The rest are traps. The 12 traps. I use triple Phoenix Chain. Again, you need the stall power, and Phoenix Chain is an amazing card. So. Again, another stall card, which is the Phoenix Wind Blast. And it's another amazing card. The deck does send your opponent's cards back to the hand a lot, like a shit ton a lot. So yeah, and then 2 Dimensional Prisons. Again for stall. So yeah, and then 2 mirror forces. Most of the deck does have weak monsters too, now that I think about it. So it's good to get rid of your opponent. You know, if they just show your monster, it's not going to really affect you because they'll just go back to the deck. 1 bottomless, 1 compulse, and a card that no one really ever seems to use anyway. The Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I use 1 of them. It's an amazing card. It stops one attack and then it flips back face down. So once per turn you can stop an attack and then it goes back face down. So it's really useful. And then they'll also most of the time use MSD to get rid of it instead of like Mirror Force or something that's face down. Just because they'll know this is there and they know they can't do anything because it's there. So usually they'll go after that. That's the entire main deck. The extra deck is kind of simple. It's pretty cheap. Most of it's cheap. There are like 1 or 2 cards that are decently priced. So, sadly, if you're going to make Madolche, you probably should try to get them now, because their prices are increasing, which is ridiculous. But I use 2 Tiramisus. I will turn it up to 3 most likely in the next card when I get it. But for now, I run 2. 2 is really great. It's just the way I'm building it now. I've actually whatchamacallit? What's it called? Proxied one during like a test duel or something against a friend, and actually was able to get all 3 of them out in 1 turn, which was freaking amazing. So yeah, I'm probably gonna turn it to 3. Then 1 Zen mains, because it's Zen mains. 2 Leviars, because Leviar is amazing. You banish a lot in the deck, and every monster you're banishing most likely is level 3 or 4. Sometimes you'll banish like your Exceed monsters, but not too often. 1 Invoker. Invoker is basically an amazing card, really. You can OTK with Invoker in this deck, which is kind of scary, but you can. I mean, you'll usually go for him if you get the Mew and 2 Cakes combo. Because you'll summon Mew, special 2 Cake, use 2 Cake's effect, summon Misalago, get Misalago's Fled to Search, and then you'd overlay for him. You then detach, special summon another Misalago, and overlay for Queen. And then you detach for Queen, sending 2 back and whatnot, and then you get like Ticket's effect most likely, since that's what you would search for. And you get special summon again, and yeah, it's really broken. So it's great. Especially when the new one comes out, because that is going to make this deck really powerful. And then Engineer, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm probably going to get rid of it, but it's pretty good. Once per turn, you can detach, switch 1 of your monsters to defense mode, and then it can be destroyed by battle or by card effect that turn. So it's a pretty good card. Number 49, Fortune Tune. Fortune Tune is basically another recycler. So, yeah. He's defense. He can't be targeted. When he's would be destroyed, you detach. When he's sent to the graveyard from the field, you select 2 level 3 monsters from the graveyard, send them back to the deck, and then he goes back to the extra deck. So it's a good defense. 1 Black Silver Corn, obvious reasons, because he wrecks a lot of decks, to tell you the truth. 1 Cowboy, 1 Gemini Pearl, 1 Mestroke, 1 Asim Golem, just for a strong beater. Usually you don't go to him unless you go for an OTK that turn, because he stops your special summoning, so he's really bad, to tell you the truth. And then that's the Exceeds. We only run 3 Sinkers in the deck. I run 1 Catastor, 1 Beast to stop their spells, and then of course we also play the Trap Stopper, which is the Barkion. Barkion is freaking amazing. I mean, you could go into these guys with tremendous ease. So I actually went into both of them in 1 turn, which is freaking amazing. And then my opponent just folded because because he thought because he basically said there's no way you can overpower these in just one turn. So he says like you could also ditch like Redox, get them back too. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the whole deck. There's not much really else to say, really. Madolches are strong. They're going to continue to be strong. They are going to get stronger. I bet you they probably will be hit. I bet you most likely Who Cake will be hit, but that because of the new one, Angeli or whatever her name, Angeli or whatever his name is. But other than that, the deck will probably stay strong. The deck is just amazing. It's one of my favorite decks to play with. So, that's great. So yeah, that's all there really is. I don't really have anything else to say. If you're building Madolches or wanting to, you probably should do it really soon because the Madolches will go up. My deck is pretty cheap. The only thing that'll cost you really anything, maybe dualities, the Phoenix Chains, because Phoenix Chains are expensive. Maybe the prisons, which aren't, well, they got reprinted, so you probably can get the commons pretty easily. Compulsives are pretty common. So yeah, most of the deck is pretty easy to get. Giant Rat, I have a lot of Giant Rats to tell the truth. Redox is easy because of his tin. I guess Vader might be hard to get. Everything else is pretty much easy. Yeah, everything else is pretty much easy. Oh, and Madolche might be decently hard to get. So yeah, that's everything. Subscribe, like, tell me what you thought of the deck. Yeah, this is a really good deck. I love this deck. So let me know what you thought of it. So see you on it next time, I guess.